But what's up, y'all? But nah, my question is like is understanding liquidity, and I know it's the taking the higher highs and higher lows. But my thing is like, how do you know how far back to go? Um,
In terms of like a target.
yeah, like if you share your screen, I kind of point out
Yeah, I'll
what
share
I'm
it
talking
real
about.
quick for you. You can see that.
Yeah. So yeah, like you scroll over some, like I guess kind of shrink it up. So like at what point would you mark your buy side and sell side?
In terms of where we're at right now, buy side would be here because it's the most recent untapped high, and then sell side for me. Well, sell side is technically at this low here, but it's a prominent sell side target. I would say it's probably down here, the previous week low, because oh no, this low. I mean, dang, why my mouse keep doing that? Because basically, like, there's liquidity resting, but you want to really target and understand like the prominent draws in liquidity. And prominent draws in liquidity are usually at major highs and major lows. Previous week high and previous week low. Same thing with previous day high, previous day low, previous session high, previous session low. It's all fractal, but all of that is usually the strongest draws in liquidity and usually what where price is most likely to draw to. So if you have, say, a sell model that is in the direction of previous week low, it is very likely that that model will play out and we will go to attack the previous week low because these are usually like the strongest magnets for price, just the more prominent versions of buy and sell side. But it can also be all of these highs are also resting buy side liquidity. But what I have highlighted is previous week high because that is the most prominent. Is that it?
Yeah, about it. But yeah, because then I'll be looking on the five chart, and I don't see as many like prominent levels, I guess. So
Well, this is the
be
15
wondering,
minute right here.
okay,
There's obviously a lot more resting highs. You have these highs here, targets these highs here. All of this is buy side. You see how this would be known as a low resistance liquidity run, and we will likely probably go to attack this week, or if not later on in the future, because usually this is just generating price for when price does want to come back and attack it. Sell side will be this low. All these unfilled imbalances down here. That's all where liquidity lies at. Just unmitigated areas in price areas where price hasn't attacked yet. You know where the price is likely to, but it is all fractal, so it's every time frame. Going into the week though, we did create a higher high. What I said last week did play out. I did say I wanted to see us come back into this order block right here. It did end up, yeah, right. I'm tripping. No, I'm looking at the daily. That's what I'm thinking of. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see us pull back into this order block and continue high, which is what we got. So now going into this week, honestly, I would not be surprised now if price wanted to rebalance into this weekly imbalance, especially because of how bearish the new week opening gap is. As you can see right here, we have a 100-point new week opening gap. That's telling me that we probably will open this week off bearish. So you can likely see us. I think the most ideal setup would be to have price rebalance into the weekly fair value gap that has not been tapped into yet. Something like this going into the week, and then potentially a buy model continuation to see us continue higher. Because overall on the higher time frame, we are still overall bullish, and we do still have, we close above all time highs. I think that personally, we're gonna fill this SD level 25,000 is where I would likely want to target going into the coming months, but that is just a possibility. That's what I would like to see. We could also even come deeper into this BPR, tap that, and continue higher. The only way I'd really be overall bearish is if we were to completely disrespect this BPR. So until that gets disrespected, these are my targets. Now going into this week, like I said before, very likely that we come down, pull back into one of these imbalances here, see price continue higher from there. That would probably be one of the main things I would want to see. Now, if we don't want to, come back down there, we also can potentially, I should go to 6 hour right quick. Potentially see previous week high and then continue higher. If we want to save that, I would definitely say we want to be more defensive going into Monday, since it is a no news Monday and the rest of the week. As y'all can see, we have a lot of red folder no's. It should be a very good week in terms of just volatility and volume and price action, because 8:30 news are usually the best. They're what I prefer because it brings the amount of volume that I like to see going into 9:30 and 10 o'clock. When we have 10 a.m. news or afternoon PM news, you likely will see the morning time will have some type of manipulation and just start to consolidate until the afternoon or until 10 a.m. Whenever we have 8:30 news, we usually see so whatever the 8:30 news wick will be, you see some type of setup in the favor of the data high or data low. By 9:30, 9:45, once more liquidity has been generated, and this usually does bring the best setups. For me, at least, I personally favor 8:30 red folder news. We have CPI on Tuesday, CPI on Wednesday, and PPI. And then we have core retail sales on Thursday. Now, Friday is not red folder, but going into this week, I will likely be looking to apply risk all of these days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, specifically Monday and Friday, we are going to be de-risked for sure. Just because no red folder news Monday usually for me is either a hit or miss. I usually either see us with a lot of volume, like we usually get either one very good clean setup off of open, or we'll just chop the whole morning, chop the whole day. So definitely gonna read and react. I will be on the chart, so I will be watching to see, but I will not be looking to take anything with full risk going into Monday. Similar situation on Friday. It's gonna be a hit or miss as well. We will either see good action or choppy action. It's not gonna really be an in between, but that's kind of like the plan going into the week. That's what I would like to see for me to fully believe. As y'all can see on the 6 hour here, we are respecting the 6 hour change in the state. We do have new week opening gap to just gap is lower, respecting the change in the state. Can likely see all of these lows get attacked here. Obviously, we do need to run this imbalance right here that we have been respecting. So until we do that, we really want to just wait, I would say. That's in regards to NQ. Let me look at ES right quick. We have any SMTs? We do have an SMT at this low. That is something to keep in mind. Definitely want to note that SMT. Going into tomorrow, I want to see how that plays out. I would like to see this SMT get disrespected. Honestly, I want to see us really close, trade back into new week opening gap, and continue to sell off going into tomorrow. That would be ideal for what I would like to see. Something like this, trade back into it, continue lower to attack all that sell side. But if we don't get that, can likely see us run inverse the new week opening gap. Will probably fill the entire gap and look to take all of this low resistance liquidity on the internal time frames. Looking at the 1 hour, we have a lot of stacked highs up here. This is nice to see. Why is my chart freezing? This is very nice to see price come and potentially attack as well. That is if we inverse the new week opening gap, which would look something like this. It would likely be some type of move like that to continue higher. So yeah, those the two possible outcomes. I would probably like to see more bearish, but based off of this SMT, it is very likely that we will probably respect see this entire wick, which we are doing right now. We would probably respect CE of this wick, look to get bought up if we continue to hold. And yeah, that's about it though. That's the plan for the week. What I'm going to be looking for, what I see from this week so far, and what the plan is. So yeah, hope y'all enjoy. Hope y'all learn something. Catch you in the next one. Peace out. You got any